Little Vanderbilt Commodore song because of their nice, hard-fought win over number 15, Missouri, this weekend. So we're going to give them the song to start off. But before we get to those games, of course, we got to start with what seems like it might be happening every week here, boys. Who's getting fired and basically going on vacation and hanging out with Coach O, we should say, because he's having a great time in the Fired Football Coaches Club. If you see any videos of Coach O out there with his shirt off, drinking pretty hard out there, having some gumbo. So it's great seeing him enjoy himself. But the firing of Brian Kelly, old $54 million owed on his contract, which this week was basically a donor, a booster of LSU said, no problem, I will pay for it. What?
Oh, man.
That's wild.
Thank you. So LSU is like, basically what are you? Starting from scratch, right? Starting from scratch with whatever they want to do and whatever position they're going to go with. But listen, LSU guys, I know we probably all have some opinions on them. I'll go real quick first, and I think he's a good football coach. I think he knows his stuff. I mean, he's been successful at every level coming up ever since he was at Grand Valley State, working his way up, through Cincinnati, Notre Dame. I mean, he went to LSU thinking that it'd be easier for him to win there just because of the recruiting restrictions you have sometimes at Notre Dame. But this has kind of been, I think, a disaster from the start. Just by seeing some of the stuff that he's done and some of the the social media posts and stuff where fake accents. I mean, you guys name it, he's done it. So, what is your opinion on this, guys?
I mean, I guess it was well overdue. I mean, I never looked at it like that, thinking he would get fired this year, but it's been pretty bad. And after what the Mush said about all the comments that's been going out around him, I started researching it, and I was just, I don't know if he gets a coaching job anymore. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. Like, it looked really bad, and all the people were commenting. It was just not something you want to – I don't know if you want to hire that guy.
I agree. Like there's just something about him. It just seemed like from the moment he whiffed, it was like, what was that big introduction? Was like I think it was at a basketball game, and he came out there and he's just trying to throw. There's a Southern accent and then there's a Bayou accent, and he just came off very disingenuous from Jump Street. And again, like obviously, everybody that plays football at LSU isn't from Louisiana, but I feel like by and large, the people who throw around the big bucks in LSU are Louisiana people. They're Bayou people. And he came in there and just kind of put his foot in his mouth from Jump Street and then continued to just kind of, it was like mediocrity, man. And they want, for the money that they throw around and for the guys that they're used to getting on that roster, I think they want to be in the mix. It's funny you mentioned Coach O. I just got done listening to a thing where I think LSU is going after Lane Kiffin hard, whether they get it or not. Lane Kiffin and Coach Orgeron are close, and it was already proposed that they were saying they were just like
together.
What's that?
They were at USC together.
Yeah, I mean, but Lane Kiffin's been with a lot of guys, and he's a weirdo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, him and Coach O are like tight, and there was something to the fact. Coach O wants to come back as the head coach of LSU right now. He's like politicking for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what if you don't get it? What if Lane Kiffin gets it? Would you come back and do the D-line? Obviously, everyone loves you here. You're a great recruiter. You juice the room up. He's headbutting, beer cans, all this other stuff, shotgun and Red Bulls. And he's like 100%. Lane Kiffin gets the job. He wants to hire me. And then Lane Kiffin's like, it's like, what does he do? So, I mean, like, there's a lot of juice, but you could just tell LSU wants a big change. They want to take a big swing, just like Penn State, just like these other programs are going to do. So, yeah, Brian Kelly, man, obviously just wasn't a right fit from Jump Street.
Yeah, I think it was just, like you said, it just didn't seem genuine. I think that was the whole gist of everything with him was just, you just didn't know what was the BS. And, You saw him on the sidelines really tearing into a kid this weekend, saying stuff. And I know he had an issue with the AD as they were leaving the field this week. And I just think everybody saw it coming. But, I don't like seeing some of these guys get fired. I really think some of them are just for the wrong reasons, just because things go wrong. Like, we have our issues about James Franklin. He could have possibly turned it around. He had a bad year, but this has been a whole consistent thing with Kelly. You look at like Gundy, this has been working up for him. And, Billy Napier gets fired off for a win. So some of this stuff, it's just people trying to go get somebody else because the grass is greener, but, the grass is not always greener. So that's the one thing about these, which we got to see where these jobs all wind up, All right, so we'll go into Vandy because we had to play their song first. So, Coach Kai, tell us about the number 15 Mizzou.
So I don't know if you guys watched the game. The game was a very exciting game, hard-fought game, sloppy at times, ended with all the way down to
defensive
the wire.
juggernaut.
The ending of the game was absolutely wild. Yeah, both coaches waiting on the 50-yard line, already shaking hands. The refs are putting people back on the sideline to review the play. Again, like, awesome job for Vanderbilt. They're just kind of like, again, I would put them in describe them in the same way as Alabama, just like galvanizing themselves, galvanizing the locker room. Look what we can do. We're never out of a game. Confidence boost. Missouri drops its second game. Bo Prabula goes out with a bad injury. Possibly season ending, right? It's like an ankle sprain with a rupture and all that stuff, almost like a Cam Scatterbo type injury.
Mm-hmm.
Bad night for Missouri, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of positives to take away. I'll go quick team comparison. 129 passing yards to 206 passing yards, 136 rushing yards to 170. 3 for 10 on third down to 5 for 16, 45 plays to 78 plays. The first team that I described that lost in every category was Vanderbilt. The second team that won every category and pretty much emphatically was Missouri. Where the margins were in the red zone and like gotta have it plays, big time plays as we like to call them. Vanderbilt's D came up huge. They bent, but they didn't break. And then Diego, I don't think enough can be said about Diego Pavia. I mean, he's got to be put in a discussion with all these other quarterbacks with his value to his team and the things that he does with a team that no one really thought would be in the position that they're in right now. I mean, the guy's got to be put right in the mix, maybe not at the top, but in the mix of the Heisman discussion. Vanderbilt D, you ready? Missouri crossed the 50 7 times. They came away with 10 points for the game. In the red zone, they were, I want to say 1 for 3. And Vanderbilt was 2 for 2. So, like, right then and there, it was like you get into the red zone, you got to score. And it was just an outrageous job, I thought, by Vanderbilt. Again, bending but not breaking. Their defense coming up big. Their offense coming up big. Diego Pavia coming up big. Really exciting stuff. It was a great game. I don't know what did you guys think about it?
I mean, SEC it's sick. I mean, the monster games every single week. Who would have thought Missouri Vanderbilt would be this big of a game, like kind of later in the season?
Rightfully so, too.
You got Vanderbilt. It's the first time ever in their program history they beat 3 top 25 teams. It does stink what happened to Prabula. And I don't know, when I bet Vandy, and when they scored that 80-yard touchdown, I figured the defenses were both doing so well that maybe Vanderbilt would go out and maybe force a punt with the backup, and he goes down with a 12-play touchdown drive. Like, puts him right back into it. And I mean, Vandy gets revenge from last year, which I kind of figured was going to happen. And it's a very, very special season for their program. Like, best season in history. They both have 2 really big games coming up. I mean, we got Vandy at Texas, and then Missouri's on the bye, and then they got to go play Texas A&M. So, I don't know. It's unreal what these teams are doing. I mean, NIL is making college football great.
Vanderbilt's got Texas, Auburn, Kentucky, and Tennessee. That's what they're finishing up with. I mean, listen, man. Obviously, Texas fan, the whole thing. We'll get into that, but those are. I mean, if they win the next 3 and go into Tennessee on a run with 1 loss, I mean, and again, you look at Alabama's schedule, you look at Georgia's schedule. It's like these guys are going to be obviously on the inside track for the playoffs. And there's like an outside, like they might find their way into the SEC champion. You just don't know at this point. There's so many variables right now. It's pretty awesome, man.
I mean, that's the great thing. I mean, I think we could all say the same thing about, this football season. I mean, it's unbelievable. And, last thing I'm going to say about this game is 6 inches, guys. After the whole game, whatever that happened, although lost, Missouri, from that Hail Mary pass from Matt Zollers, that bomb at the end of the game, they were 6 inches away from winning that game.
Yep.
That guy was almost across the end zone. I thought listen, if you have a tracker in the ball and the way that guy's sitting on the thing, he might even touch the goal line. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But just the way his body kind of blocked it. And I'll say one thing, that guy, Matt Zollers, came in and threw the ball very well, which is one thing when we've seen Prabula not be able to throw the ball at times. So you add this guy in now who he came in fearless in this environment, chucking the ball like he didn't care. And he was a top recruit as a pocket passer for Missouri. So this guy comes in. This might be a whole different team now for Missouri. If they get Ahmad Howardy going with this run game, along with this guy throwing the ball, they could be, you never know. This could be a bad loss, losing Prabula, but this might be a blessing in disguise. You just never know. I mean, look what happened with Ole Miss, and what happened with their quarterback situation. So you never know what this could happen with them. This could give them a whole different, a whole different outlook on the season with this. All right, next game we'll get into, boys. I'll start it off with the Ole Miss Oklahoma game, and from the start, if you saw the highlights, if you saw some stuff, if you saw Oklahoma come out on the field into the cloud of smoke and stumble and fall all over each other, you knew something was not going to happen right for the Sooners. Just from starting right there, which is I didn't notice it until I went back and saw some stuff and tried to watch some stuff later on. I actually saw it a little while ago on Twitter. I was like, are you kidding me? This is how it started? Okay, no wonder why. But Ole Miss responded, very well. It was a lot of sloppiness in the first half, basically a lot of rainy weather during the game. But I'll tell you one thing, man. Ole Miss is tough, and Trinidad Chambliss, in my opinion, right now, looking at him and what he does, I don't know if there is a scarier quarterback in the SEC than Trinidad Chambliss right now.
Maybe Marcel Reed. That's it. Maybe
throwing
Reed.
The ball
that's
and
it.
Running the ball.
He's terrifying. He's great.
And he is above all, he's a winner. He's won it all. He knows how to do it. And watching him against Oklahoma, basically, when I need to go, I go. When I can break tackles, the stopping on a dime, cutting. And I'm sorry, Oklahoma got to him. They made a lot of plays. He was making some very good defenders on Oklahoma look stupid sometimes.
Really
with some
good
of his
guys.
Moves in the open field. So I'm impressed with him. Looking at some of the stuff with as far as if you just played a quarterback back to back, I mean, comparison, it wasn't close. I mean, Mateer did some good things, I thought, in the game in the first half. In the second half, people are talking about some of the questionable play calling. I think some of the play calling was, two plays in particular that I was not, looking back at it. The play coming out of their own end zone, they were on a 2-yard line, and they ran at 20 personnel, basically we call it dino right. They run an outside zone play, and it looks like Mateer's reading the backside. Guy side's chasing hard, gives it to him. Guy's right on his butt. One missed block inside, boom, safety. So not happy with it. It wasn't like, let's put another tight end in there. Let's move the ball a little bit out of there. Let's get some stuff going. Let's go downhill. I don't know, going sideways in the end zone is always the best thing to do, but that's what they did, and they got a safety out of it, and then gave them a short field. They came down, kicked a field goal after that short field. So right there, 5-point swing. And then in the what do you call it? In the second quarter, Oklahoma also had another 4th and 2 during midfield, and they went out there with a 12 personnel package. And Mateer came under center, and they ran that play action, play side boot that a lot of teams run with the fake to the back. Quarterback comes out to the same side. It was good to him a couple of weeks ago. Won a game for him in one of the games that I was watching. And right off the bat, guy came off the edge and was right in Mateer's face. So I'm not going to I'm saying it could be questionable, but you know what? That play came up for them big in another game. So was it just great scouting on Ole Miss's part and them recognizing Oklahoma might go to that play in that situation? Could it be great scouting? It could be. Or could it be they just, they made the play? Whatever. I don't know what it could be, but I'm not going to – when you go to a play that you've worked in the past and it's been successful for you, I can't really say it was always a bad call. But one of the things I was definitely watching that last drive, I mean, Oklahoma had a chance to go down, tie the game up with an 8, losing, 34-26. And they're driving the end of the game. And Mateer had a 4th and 5, right over midfield. And, I mean, they had 20 personnel. Dino left, we would call. Satania's in the slot, outside guy. Satania runs a nice whip route. There were more, and the inside, actually, I think it might have been a trips personnel. I'm not exactly sure. But the inside guy.
No, it's the two receiver side.
Yeah.
He ran a whip, and the outside guy ran a post corner, and he threw a shit ball to him and had the
he ran the corner route, and then Satania's wide open on the whip route for the first down. Your best guy.
Wide open.
And the safety's over the top of the other one. I'm like, that was just a bad ball by Mateer. And listen, I have no problem giving Mateer because, last week they said, was he bothered by the injury and stuff? I saw him chuck the ball. He looked good. The arm looked strong. I have no problem with some of the stuff of them playing him. I just think maybe that drive, 3 timeouts, 2 minutes left in the game, you don't abandon the running game. They had a very good job in that third quarter, basically brought them back with 2 touchdowns running by 2 different guys, Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock. And I don't know why they abandoned the running game, because they did have a chance to run the ball with 3 timeouts and 2 minutes left. That's forever in a college football game. So that's where I have a little question. And then also that last play, I think was a great call. You have your best guy wide open in a whip route for 4th and 5, standing 5.5 yards away from, a half yard over the line. Throw him the ball, Mateer. He's wide open. Throw him the ball. So I just think he missed some things, maybe missed some reads. And, again, that's right there. If you're gonna blame Arbuckle for calling the play, you got to understand John Mateer's a senior quarterback, played a lot of football. He's got to understand it's 4th and 5. Let's get the first down and let's move the chain. So, again, SEC. I mean, basically it's 1 or 2 plays and you're done. And that's what happened in this game. I thought Oklahoma, was there, shot for shot with them. I don't think it was like, Ole Miss won the game, but 2 plays go different. Oklahoma could win the game. I mean, it's very simple. So I'm not going to say they were like blown out or anything, or it was, it's just the SEC. It's where it is. If you make a mistake, other teams are going to capitalize on it. And Trinidad Chambliss made less mistakes, and that's basically as simple as I can say it. What do you guys think, man?
I think some suspects going. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to just create drama. I felt like in the beginning, prior to the injury with Mateer, I thought the design quarterback runs, and then the fake of that with the throw with the RPO stuff down the field, that was like what was deadly about them. I don't know what Arbuckle's deal. First of all, Mateer looks like a different quarterback. He's not making the same decisions. He's not making a lot of the same plays. Satania's your best guy. I mean, I would go out of my way to put the ball in Satania's hands as much as possible. He's wide open on a whip route. That was to me, would have been like an easy throw from Mateer, who's a very good quarterback. And he doesn't throw it to him. And then again, like Z, you said it, they were getting their non-Mateer run game that they haven't had all year started to come alive a little bit. And they kind of abandoned it. And it's to me, you have to be a little bit more dedicated to getting it going. It's not going to work all the time, but they were punching them in the mouth. They broke some big plays, and Arbuckle got away from it. So if I'm going to, if I'm going to be critical of Arbuckle at all, it's going to be for a kind of abandoning the run game. And then I just think Mateer looks different. I really do. For some reason, I don't know what his deal is. But I mean, if you're Venerables and you're having a hard time stopping a tempo Trinidad Chambliss Ole Miss, it's like, yo, run the ball, take a little time. Let's relax a little bit. Let's regroup. But instead, we're just going to we're going to let Mateer throw incomplete passes. And like you said, they weren't outclassed. It was a battle. They were right there in the game with them. They could have very easily won the game, but run the ball, man, because you were able to. You know what I mean?
I thought they ran the ball. Yeah, I mean, I was questioning them running the ball, and I thought they finally did run the ball good. So that's what I was a little upset with some of that stuff. But again, I'm not going to be one of these guys, and I'll tell you this right now. I don't care what happens the rest of the season. Maybe I shouldn't say that because if they totally tank, but I mean, I like Brent Venables as Oklahoma coach, and I think that he's the guy I would want because I know one thing that we have one side of the ball figured out, and the other side of the ball, again, a couple of tweaks here and there, and I think we're good. So I like what Oklahoma's doing. I don't think they have the resources that some of these other schools have, and I think they can hang with anybody. So I'm happy with what we have there in Oklahoma.
You think they're different with Hawkins in there a little bit? He's got to get a shot,
you know what?
man.
I'm not there at practice. I just know he's electric. I can tell you that. He is electric, but Mateer went out one play and they brought in a different guy other than Hawkins in the game too. So I don't know what that was all about. So, who knows?
Yeah,
so Maul, what are we thinking about that big battle in Death Valley where number 3, 7-0 now, 4-0 Texas A&M puts a spanking on LSU?
Terrible pick by me. I mean, I thought maybe Texas A&M could have a fluke like all these other teams would. I really do like Texas A&M. I thought maybe playing at LSU at a night game, and it was just a bad pick. So, I mean, you go into the locker room, you got the lead, you come back in the second quarter. I don't know, like when we went into the locker room and we were down and we were playing a team, like I kind of look at it like Friel Burrow, like you're playing a guy who had 850 yards the week before, 8 touchdowns, and you go into the locker room in a close game and you come out of the locker room and there's no fight. There's no heart. You get blown out of the water 38-7 in the second half. Marcel Reed, I mean, he's absolutely amazing, but he only had 2 games of 50 plus rushing yards in the whole entire season, and he comes out and 13 carries, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't know. I just thought the speed from Texas A&M I thought they were just way too fast for LSU. I mean, even if they thought they could make the tackle, they weren't catching them coming down north south. So I mean, Texas A&M, they poured it on. I mean, offense, defense, and then that punt return. I turned the game off right after the punt return. I was sick to my stomach. I mean, there's just that guy. I think that was his 3rd or 4th punt return this season too. That guy. So like, I mean, Texas A&M is legit. They look very, very good. I wish they could play Bama in the season. Like I want to see that matchup right now because I feel like that's the best 2 teams right now.
That might be the championship.
Yeah, so I mean, that's my take on that game. Another bad pick by me. Got to be better here.
Yeah,
I got the last laugh on that one.
Dude, I watched the game, and I just felt like A&M, even though they were losing in the first half, looked like the better team. They couldn't have played worse in the first half, and they took LSU's best punch, and were still right there at the end of the first half. You knew they were. Elko's a great coach, and dude, they looked 2 steps. The whole team looked like they were. It's like if you're watching a video on YouTube and you put it on speed 1.5, it's like, wow, this is a little faster than normal, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. They looked like they were on speed 1.5 the whole game, everybody. And their offensive line's allowed to tackle people to the ground. I think they're allowed to. So, I mean, dude, Reed's a stud.
That was pissing me off.
He's a stud and he makes plays. I mean, Mo, there were bad calls. You and I were texting about it. There was brutal holding calls all over the place. But that's just because Texas A&M's O-line tries to just maul you and destroy you. And if they hold you and throw you on the ground like you're a little kid, that's what they do. I mean, they're brutal. And They're terrifying, dude. Texas has to play them. It's like a renewed rivalry now. Like Texas A&M's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one thing. I saw a post about it, and it reminded me of it. And I'm going to say it out there. And basically, you have Cassius, Alvin Mack Howell on the outside over there playing linebacker. Talking crap to the LSU O-line like it's watching Alvin Mack in the program saying, "You the dude that raped my sister. I'm going to kill you." I mean, he's out there screaming, going nuts. And you see the defensive coordinator say, "Listen, this is SEC football. Sometimes you got to get out there. You got to bring it to a different level." And we know Cassius can bring it to a different level, and he does.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Listen, we always say that, man. You could be the nicest guy in the world, but when you cross those white lines, you got to be a little bit crazy sometimes. And Cassius Howell definitely embodies that. And I got to say, Texas A&M looking good. They're getting stronger. I mean, I got the 7 consecutive games over 400 yards of offense. So, I mean, they are doing it on the offense. Marcel Reed. I mean, you talk about a guy for a Heisman, looking good. He's looking the part. And, Texas A&M just looks like they are the top team right now. And, we'll see how it all turns out. But I'm very, very impressed with the Aggies right now. And LSU, I mean, listen, supposedly, they fired Kelly. Supposedly he wasn't getting fired. Supposedly they wanted changes from the offensive coordinator. They wanted the AD wanted him to fire Joe Sloan. He said, "No, I'm not firing. I'm making changes, but I'm not firing him." He goes, "No, you're going to fire him. That's what we want." He goes, "No, I am not firing him." And he said, "Well, you're not. Then you're fired." And he said, "Okay." So, I mean, he just got himself $54 million by doing that and sticking up for the guy. So, listen, if I have a guy on my staff and I think he's doing a good job and it's just not working right and he's doing what I tell him to do, I'm going to stick up for the guy too. But if he's doing stuff, and you could see one time, I think you saw like Brian Kelly talking into the headset, like saying, "Joe, it's this. Why are you calling that play?" It kind of looked like he was saying that in this situation.
There was one specific time where they wanted, what I read on this face was, why are we kicking the ball to that guy when they punted? Brian Kelly wanted them to desperately punt the ball out of bounds, and they kept punting it to a guy they couldn't tackle. So I've been on the sideline with you, Z, and we practice kicking off certain ways and punting certain ways, and we punted to a dynamic kid, and it's like guys are like ducking under tables because you're like ready to take their head off. So it's like I get the frustration.
Yeah. Listen,
how about Tommy Moffitt getting Brian Kelly gets hired there, he gets fired. The strength and conditioning coach at LSU goes over to Texas A&M, and during practice he put a Brian Kelly face on all the freaking punching bags, and he just had
on the tackling bags, right?
Good for him. He got the
gotta love it, man. And that guy was like a lifer at LSU. He won 3 national championships there with all 3 of those guys. So, I mean, but again, I'm not going to, because I know the way that works with some of these guys and bringing their own guy. I mean, we know one of those guys. And once the coach has their guy, they want to bring their guy with them. And listen, this guy can be upset all he wants, but that's the way college football works.
Yeah.
And I think he's making, he's at Texas A&M, and we know whose job he has at Texas A&M, whose job it could have been. I'm not going to have to say anymore. I don't want to get in trouble. But, we know how that stuff works. All right, so here we go. We're going to roll into week 9. And you know what? One of the big games coming up. Once again, hey, it's an SEC game coming up. You have basically, I think, again, this last year, there's 2 big games, I think, in the SEC this week. With as far as rankings go, Oklahoma is at Tennessee at Rocky Top, and that is going to be a tough game for Oklahoma. With basically, I like to see this matchup with Oklahoma's defense against Tennessee's offense. I mean, Tennessee's offense is ridiculous. I mean, they have scored points. I think last week they had 3 100-yard receivers. They are just scoring on everybody. And Oklahoma's defense has been good. It's been tough. And I think this is going to be one hell of a test for them. And I'm worried about it as an Oklahoma fan. As far as the stats put it up by that Tennessee offense, Joey Aguilar, last game out, he threw for 396 and 3 tutties. So he's been getting better. He's been good all season. I shouldn't say getting better. But, Oklahoma's defense, again, they did show some stuff and some issues against, Ole Miss, who is another good offense too. So, we're going to see how that faces Also, Tennessee's pass rush, has been no slouch. They're averaging, I think, like 3.5 sacks a game in the SEC play, so they're doing good. One of the key factors in this game for me is just the atmosphere. I mean, again, I don't understand. We say atmosphere, and like we're saying this stuff, but it's every week. I mean, you're coming from here. They go to the Red River rivalry, then they're going to play this team here. Then they're going to play Texas here. Then they're going to play at this place. And everybody's got 100,000 fans, and they're all nuts. And it's just, it's not the atmosphere. Oh, this atmosphere is going to be tough. It's just a Saturday in the SEC. I mean,
Dude,
let's just say it. It's unbelievable.
I watched the Texas Mississippi State game. You would have thought the kids in the stands for Mississippi State, it was the Super Bowl or national championship with all the cowbells, the horns down, the place was sold out. It's just how it is, man. It's really wild. It is. And again, like the NIL, as much as we want to bitch about it because it just kind of takes away some of that like family team thing with is pay for play. The parity that it's brought and the matchups that it's brought week in and week out has been sick.
Yeah.
And
this is big. Tennessee is going with their dark mode uniforms. So they'll be wearing their black uniforms, and Oklahoma will be in there all in basically white and crimson up, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be 100,000 people at Rocky Top going nuts and having a great time. And I just want to see a great game. And of course, who I want to win, but it's going to be. I mean, this is Oklahoma's season. If they have a way to knock this game and to knock off Tennessee here, then they'll be back in the mix to get possibly into the playoffs by this win, and they got plenty of other ones coming up, with the schedule that they have coming up. But Oklahoma just needs to figure out what's going on with some of their stuff. I think they can. They're pretty healthy all around now. They got both their true freshman tackles. It's unbelievable that I'm saying that, but they have 2 true freshman tackles playing for them that are both healthy now. They haven't been healthy together, so hopefully those guys can survive at Rocky Top and snap counts and all that kind of stuff. But Tennessee's biggest weakness for Tennessee is their defense. It's not very good. So I'm just hoping a couple of stops by OU and their offense maybe hold the ball a little bit. They're allowing 93% scoring in the red zone. So their red zone defense is not that good. So I'm just hoping Mateer and Arbuckle get on the same page here, and run the ball when you can, throw it when you need to, get some RPOs going, which I think Mateer has a very good release on those, and let's keep the ball away from that high-powered Josh Heupel offense over there at Tennessee.
I think I look at Tennessee, and again they do like I made the comparison between them and Ole Miss before, just formation-wise. They both like tempo, et cetera, and I thought Vanderbilt's tempo, getting guys in and out of the game, substitutions, all that stuff, not bad. It was like Chambliss made a couple plays that I don't think Tennessee, like he's just dynamic at the quarterback position. And again, they're not the same. I think Tennessee can run the ball a little bit better. I just think that their defense is worse. So I think Oklahoma's going to score at least another, maybe touchdown. And I think that you don't have to worry about Trinidad Chambliss. I just doing like the freak weird stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, Aguilar's good. He's just not. He doesn't run like Chambliss.
Yeah. He is, but he doesn't have the invisible juice, and he doesn't make those crazy plays. So
no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on from that game. Big game down at Darrell K. Royal Stadium, where number 9, 7-1, 3-1 in the SEC, Vanderbilt, off a couple of big games and a big win against Mizzou, comes up against number 20, 6-2, 3-1 Texas Longhorns. Coach,
so there's a lot going on here. It's high noon in Texas, and it's like a bit. Listen, man. I mean, like we talked about it. Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt, they're on a roll. They're on fire. Their defense steps up big when they need him to. Their offense steps up big. Diego Pavia stands on his head, makes all these plays. The one big consistent for a team in Texas who's been very inconsistent this year on offense, whether it's like lack of consistency with the run game, the backfield being healthy, being nicked up. Wisner was hurt. Baxter was hurt. They're both back. Are they 100%? The offensive line has looked bad at times. just being, self-aware. I'm a Texas fan, but we got to, call it like it is. Pass protection at times brutal. Inconsistency in the run game.
I think they had their best game, Coach, and now you know who it was against.
They had their best game,
By
and
far.
honestly, man, let's be honest. We watched the Ohio State game. They ran the ball well in the Ohio State game. So, they play bad. They play down to the level of their competition, but they also have a tendency to play up to the level of their competition. So it's like, what Texas team are we going to see?
And what quarterback are we going to see?
Well, that's a big thing too. And so moving forward, but for me, the consistent thing and the fun thing to watch has been the Texas defense. They think they're the best in the country. They boast a lot of things. They got some good stats to back it up. One that popped off the paper to me, their stop rate's 89.4%, right? So stop rate, the punt, turnover on downs, 89.4. That's like right around number 1 in the country. But the problem is, again, we're talking about number 16 not being in the game. Which number 16 are we talking about? There's Arch Manning. We'll put a pin in that. To me, maybe the more important number 16 is Michael Taft, All-American safety. Z, we watched the game. We watched the Red River Shootout. That guy was just all over the field. There looked like there was like 4 kids wearing number 16 on Texas's defense. He comes up and crushes people in the run game. He interceptions, etc. The kid's unreal. He's a lunatic, and he's hurt. Broke his thumb against Kentucky, played through the rest of the game with a broken thumb, went and had surgery. He was out last week. He's technically not supposed to be back until the Georgia game. But again, this is like, a huge game. This is like a make or break your season type game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him. I'm hoping to see him because Mississippi State punched a hole in Tech. He wasn't there, and they let up 38 points. So, and they're not great. So it was like a huge thing. Arch Manning is, per Sark, Arch Manning practiced today. He's still in concussion protocol technically, but he's reached the aspect of the protocol where he can, resume activities and stuff. Does he get cleared? I don't think it looks very good. So I would not expect to see Arch Manning. I'm hoping to see Michael Taft. Arch Manning goes down. We are going to see the Troy transfer backup quarterback, Matthew Caldwell, who to say he's had limited exposure is, an understatement. 8 for 11, 85 yards. But the kid goes down. Arch goes down in overtime. The kid comes in and throws, the most perfect ball in terms of the only person that can get to it was his guy, right? 2nd and 8 from the 10. It was originally an RPO. Sark called an RPO. The kid walks in there. It's like, talk about having balls, dude. You walk in, it's for the game, and you audible out of what your coach calls. He audibled too. He liked his look. He saw Emmett Mosley. He liked the look on the outside, audible to a fade through it, dropped a dime. And then the defense did their job, and they got out of there with a win. But again, Mississippi State, not a great team. And they had to, it was like a bloodbath. So, are either 16 going to play? I don't want to sound like a jerk here. I tip my cap to the Manning family. I think they're the classiest people in the world, and Arch Manning is getting better. I think he had his best game statistically against Mississippi State. But if I have to pick a 16 to show up, at high noon, I want to see Taft, and I want to see him running around cracking people. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
For me, Vandy's offense goes as far as Pavia will take it. You're against the Texas defense, so I think I got a stat that's pretty crazy to me. I think Pavia's got to be more consistent in the passing and the running game. Can't have any turnovers against this defense because they're going to make you pay. But against Virginia Tech, South Carolina, Bama, LSU, and Missouri, Pavia has yet to throw for over 200 yards. So I don't know if they're gonna beat him up on the running game, and I think he's gonna have to get over that 200-yard mark if he's gonna want to go into Texas and get a win. From Texas' side, the O-line's got to contain whichever quarterback's playing. Vandy's D-line has been eating lunch on all these quarterbacks this year. They've been getting to them. They've been playing well. Got to run the ball to keep their defense honest. Windsor, big game. I feel it, big game. And I don't know. I mean, this is for Texas. This isn't a team you're going to score 24 points on in the fourth quarter and make a nice, huge comeback. I don't think so. I think, I want to lean Texas just because I think I'm a little biased towards them with Manning. But Vandy's just tough. They're sneaky. Even when they were bad, they were a spoiler. So now they're rolling. So that's what I got from that game. I mean,
yeah, I think
I mean,
everybody
look,
feels the same way. You're just not going to run. Here's the thing. Vandy runs the ball. Some of them are broken plays with Pavi in the pass game, but they make their money running the ball, and no one really runs the ball. Nobody really runs the ball in Texas. That's the only thing. If you're going to beat them, you're going to beat them throwing the ball down the field with Taft being out. That's it,
And he's yet to do that this year against a big team.
listen, I mean, if one team's going to run, you're going to have to. I mean, Vanderbilt's going to have to lean on more of an option attack to get the numbers. I mean, Pavia's going to have to. I mean, listen, he leads the team in carries and rushing yards. So, I mean, can that take its toll? We will see. We'll see how. I mean, you keep taking all these hits like this, and we'll see how it goes. But the guy's been, an iron horse since the last 2 seasons. But as far as again, right now, Pavia, like with what he does, like he is. I mean, if you put stars together, he's probably like 2-star player when he was coming out of high school or not. But he's out there with everybody, and Texas probably has the most, those 5 stars anybody else in the country. And this guy just doesn't care. I mean, he just doesn't care. He goes out there and he's striking Heisman poses, and he's doing whatever he has to do to motivate his team. And I just feel like he's just a quarterback that, like, as a team, you want to follow. You want to just follow the guy because, again, he's like, he's a foxhole guy. He's gonna like we say that thing about from that movie. It's like, listen, man, I need you to meet me here at this time. Don't ask me any questions. Don't ask me anything we're gonna do, but we're gonna have to hurt some people. We have to do some things, and
he just says, whose car are we
driving? I mean, that's Pavia. I mean, Pavia is like, he's the guy you're gonna call to bury the bodies. I mean, he's that guy for his teammates. It seems like, and they die for him, and they love him. And he runs that team. And, that's the way when you have teams like that, you can have special teams, even though you don't have the most, you have the talent to compete, not the best talent. But with a guy like him, that seems like that can drive you over the top. And it seems like what it's doing right now for Vanderbilt. And I would have listen, it's a close game as far as the spread, too. I would have, I think Texas is a good team, but I don't know what Texas team is going to show up. And I'll tell you one thing, if Vandy comes out and wins this game, okay, yeah, I'm not surprised. As you would be in the past, it could happen.
Yep.
All right, so next week coming up here. Well, sorry, Maul, we got one more game to discuss. Yeah, go for it with the Dukies and the Tigers.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got Duke at Clemson. Little ACC matchup here. I mean, you got 2 teams. You just don't know how they're going to play when the ball kicks off. They're just very inconsistent. There's talent on both sides of the field. I mean, Duke's got the leading passer in the ACC with 2,200 yards, 2 picks, and 17 touchdowns. But they have a problem with turning over the football inside the 20-yard line, driving. Like they have a lot of turnovers in crucial points, and like the one against Georgia Tech, you fumble at the 1-yard line, and go 99 yards down the field. Like, that is terrible. You cannot have that happen against these really good teams. And Clemson 1-3 at home this year. You don't know if Cade's playing. I think I'm going to stick with my gut here and take him -3.5. I think he's playing. He's got 3 weeks worth of rest. They're 1-3 at home. They haven't beat a Power 4 school at home in over a year. They've lost 5 straight. They're coming off the bye. Dabo's he's usually pretty good coming off the bye. I mean, they got to win this game. I mean, they have FSU and South Carolina coming up, and then they play Furman, who they're probably going to beat. But to win this game, exactly. Yeah, you don't know. But to win this game, and you want to go to the bowl, you want to go to a bowl game and be eligible, like, you got to win this one. And it all starts in Clemson. I mean, give the fans a little bit of hope. They've been dying ever since Trevor Lawrence left. Like, they need something. But it's must win to be bowl eligible from my standpoint. I mean, because who knows if they come out and even beat FSU or South Carolina.
I tell you one thing. I think this is a must win for Duke. I mean, Duke has won some games, but whenever they get to the top tier, like even it's not, I shouldn't even say it's a top tier, it's a top name. Bad things happen. So for me, again, look what happened with Duke and Georgia Tech. Duke needs to get over the hump of we're playing a big name team, and just understand, like, yo, we're better than them. Like we are better. It's Clemson, yeah, but that's not Clemson from winning natties a couple of years ago. That's not them over there. And we're better. We got to go out there and perform. And that's where I think they need to get off the schneid on that and just win one of these games,
I just I agree 100%. They've had some wins against some big teams, but it's during Elko, so it's for Manny, he's got to get some of these bigger wins there against some of the bigger conference teams. And to speak to Maul's point, it's like the self-inflicted wound stuff. Darian Mensah just plays out of his mind sometimes. He makes these wild, awesome plays, and it's like, oh my God, look what he did. Oh, they took a huge loss. They fumbled. They recovered. It's 3rd and 13. Oh, wait a second. He's going to break 3 tackles and throw a dart down the field. Like, he does great stuff. They just have to be more consistent. And to speak to your point, Z, there's 100% this weird, it's like they have to get it in their mind that they belong at the top of the conference, because they're just not used to being the top dog. But again, I think they're very well coached. They're always in position. Their offense is exciting, and their defense is always, they sack a lot of quarterbacks, and they're always in position to make plays. They just have to be a little bit more consistent. I think Duke has the potential to give Clemson a business.
They've screwed me, so I got to go the other way on this one.
Listen, this game, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm rooting for them, see the fighting Fields and a Dr. Feelgood team. So let's hopefully they can get out there and do some good here. All right, boys, we got 2 this week. Count them, 2. Who needs to win more in college football? Both these games, conference battles. The first one, 7-0, 5-0 in the American. The Navy Midshipmen at 7-1, 3-1. The North Texas Mean Green. A big high noon kickoff in the American Conference. Both teams sitting in top of the American Conference standings. Navy also led by a tough as nails Blake Horvath, one of the 4 remaining undefeated teams in FBS. Blake Horvath leads every stat for quarterback rushing and touchdowns. The guy's an animal. A win could boost this team up higher into the national rankings. North Texas led by, basically, I'm going to say it, the top probably free agent quarterback in college football this year. Quarterback Drew Westamaker is one of the top passing quarterbacks in the country, and he will be definitely leading I'm going to say it right now, SEC team next year, making $3 million is my guess. Somebody is going to pay him, and, well, possibly even, rumor has it, he might be the next quarterback at Indiana next year. So who the hell knows? But we'll see what happens. But out of those 2 teams, boys, who needs to win more?
I mean, I think you could make an argument for both sides. If one team wins, they guarantee themselves probably a shot at the title. If one team loses, they guarantee themselves to not even come close to the championship game. So for North Texas, if they lose, they're going to be out of the ACC title hopes. So I'm going to take North Texas on this one, because I think if Navy loses, I mean, that's only one loss in the conference. I still think they have a chance at making the ACC title game.
I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach. Unless I saw something different than you guys, it just looked to me like North Texas's schedule entirely, but especially moving forward, is just trash. And Navy's going to go play Notre Dame, South Florida, Memphis, and then they're going to have the Army-Navy game, which is outrageous rivalry. So if they lose the game now, they got some teams they got to go play. And if they win out and they're undefeated with wins over Notre Dame, wins over South Florida, win over Memphis, how do you not, say maybe they deserve a shot to get in the playoffs? North Texas is anybody on the playoff committee going to even – does anybody give a shit about these guys? So it's I think Navy has an opportunity to do something special, especially with what they do, to just take a little bit of a coaching standpoint. When you go play a team that has an offense like Navy has, Your scout team is not replicating it. You're not getting your scout team to even probably give a good representation of it on 2 or 3 days. So they put I don't know, man. I'm rooting for Navy. I always I'm going with Max Zadowitz. I'm going with Navy. I think they got a big game. I think they got tough teams moving forward, and I think they got a chance to make a splash. So I'm going Navy.
All right, in our next, who needs to win more, baby? Number 17, 7-1, 5-0 in the Big 12, the Cincinnati Bearcats. At number 24, 6-2, 3-2 in the Big 12, the Utah Utes. This game, a night game, 10:15, night game for us, but not out there, a little bit earlier, 8:15 start out there at Rice-Eccles Stadium in beautiful Salt Lake City. Offensive powerhouse versus the defensive lockdown. This game pits Utah's elite offense against Cincinnati's stout defense. The Utes rank 5th in FBS for rushing offense and 11th in scoring offense. The Bearcats, meanwhile, ranked 9th in the country in scoring defense. As the conference newcomer, these two conference newcomers meet for the first time. This is a big, big game in the Big 12 title race. And also, as big as it gets, when you have College Game Day come to town, rolling into Salt Lake City, which is going to be probably absolutely nuts out there. One of our boys, one of our teammates, old players, Corey Englehart's sister is a student out there, and the dad, Mr. Englehart, was out there last weekend. I talked to him a couple times when we crossed paths going through with the boats, and he said it's beautiful out there. He loves it, and we know how big the Engleharts are as skiing people, but he loves it out there, and he says it's an unbelievable place, and I can imagine what this is going to bring out with College Game Day there. Who needs it more, boys?
Flip of a coin. I think it's a flip of a coin. I mean, you could take the angle. Utah has they are where they are. But Cincinnati, obviously they're playing Utah, so let's just say they win. Hypothetically, if they win, they still get to go play BYU, who is brutal. But Cincinnati beats Utah and beats BYU. They're currently 17th. You beat BYU, you beat Utah. Are you in the mix? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be. Utah's no, I don't think anybody wants to play BYU. They're nasty. You know what I mean? So so anyway, I don't know. If you're Cincinnati, you have an opportunity again, do something special. You go win you win out, especially the 2 biggest teams left on your schedule, and you have a chance to make the playoffs. To me, like, you need it more.
Yeah. Yep. I agree there. Definitely tough one. Like you said, if Cincinnati gives a winner, it puts them in the mix with like Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, all those guys for playoff hopes. But I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that Utah, because I think those 2 losses is putting a little bad taste in their mouth. I mean, they're coming into this game as a freaking 8.5-point favorite, so they're thinking that Utah is gonna run the wheels off them. But we know Cincinnati's got a good defense, so I mean, maybe Utah gets the win because they're heavily favored. I guess I'd lean there, and because I think they want to give a little shot, maybe get back into Big 12 chance.
Cincinnati, one loss on the year, first game, 3-point loss to Nebraska. So, that's the only blemish on their schedule. So we'll see how this turns out. All right, boys, we got to try to finish this up here. I think we're way behind here, but we got to go through our pick'ems real quick. All right, we have last week I went 1-2. I think Maul was 1-2. Kite was 2-1 once again. So for me this week, I am going Ohio State -20 over Penn State. I am going Miami -11 over SMU, and I'm going Notre Dame -28 over Boston College.
A lot of points, dude.
I'm taking the offense.
Fireworks.
Ohio State is going to pound Penn State.
Wow. All right,
they got to do something against them. They have to pound them.
The Mush was saying that Penn State's got a chance here, so I'll give you a little hope there.
That's a lot of points, dude.
Okay, we'll take it.
I'll blast mine off real quick. I'm taking Tulane -3.5 over UTSA Roadrunners. I think that's like low-hanging fruit. I don't know how the hell that's where the line is, but it is what it is. Arizona -4.5 over Colorado, and Georgia, a lot of points, -7.5 over Florida.
All right, here we go. 2-4 last week. Not the best week. Kind of on a little bender. We're going to go Clemson minus 3.5 over Duke. Sketch. If the quarterback doesn't play, I'm screwed. Tulane, I'm going to roll with Kite here. Tulane minus 3.5 against UTSA. I think that's a little crazy there too. And I'm going to go with a game tonight. MTSU 1-6, getting 3.5 from Jacksonville State. I'm betting it. I'm taking it. Let's go.
That's two cockroaches going down the side of the road, dude. That's two cockroaches
Doesn't
going down
matter.
the sidewalk.
Listen, there's World Series games on, and I'm watching freaking last night, and I'm watching James Madison and the Texas State Bobcats. I don't care. This is what I'm watching.
Yeah,
Here we go. Last one to finish it off. Roadrunner of the week. I have two Roadrunners of the week. North Texas quarterback Drew Mestamaker, 608 yards passing, 4 TDs in a 55-24 victory over Charlotte. And Georgia Tech quarterback Haynes King, 395 total yards and 5 tutties with 80% completion percentage in a win over Syracuse.
All right, for
Good,
me,
Malt.
first I'm going to do the picks real quick. Malta's picks of the week.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that.
No, it's all right. We're gonna buy Clemson a point, so we're gonna take a minus 2.5 on the bet slip. We're gonna buy a point on Tulane, take minus 2.5 on that, and we're taking MTSU, like we said, 3.5, and I'm taking them to win. Headhunter of the week. This guy, 13 total tackles, 9 solo, 4 assisted, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for a loss.
Whoa.
Xavier Atkins, Auburn linebacker. They finally make a comeback and get a big win.
Damn.
Real quick, Fools of the Week with 25 first downs, 422 rushing yards, 7.7 yards per play. Sorry, Coach Prime, but I got to go Fools of the Week to Utah Utes.
All right, boys. All right, good show, baby.
Good job, guys.